I don't know how many of you have tried to contact your local council. I tried contacting my local borough council, the Rugby Borough Council, about 2 months ago with a fairly straightforward question, and I've still not had a proper answer. And I've telephoned and I've written a number of times since, and I've still had no response. And you think, well, what is the point? What is the point of electing people to a council position if the people who do the real work, if the civil servants aren't there and can't be bothered to actually function? What is the point of having what's the point of having a council? Most places have two councils, a local council and a borough council. Neither seem to be functioning. Jacob Rees-Mogg, who I haven't spoken about in a while, Jacob Rees-Mogg says that on the back of an investigation, a Freedom of Information request by the Liberal Democrats, of which I think 185 out of 317 councils responded, there's been an 18% rise in long-term sickness among council employees, which means that when you write to your council, when you ring up your council, the chances of you getting a response are quite low because the people who should be making that response are just ill. Many of them are working from home. Rees-Mogg says that, who, as we know, doesn't like working from home, says perhaps working from home is not so healthy after all. The extraordinary rise in sickness in the public sector is surely a management problem rather than a health one. Otherwise, working for the state will need a health warning. Well, he's trying to be clever and failing, of course. But he is right that our councils are not functioning, and part of the reason may well be that many of the civil servants who work for the councils are at home and ill. Birmingham City Council, for example, has now got 561 staff ill, up from 390 in 2019. Birmingham Council has effectively declared itself bankrupt and is putting up council tax by 21%. Leeds, there are 425 currently off, up from 254 in 2019. This isn't an imaginary issue invented by Jacob Rees-Mogg. It's real, and it shows. And the NHS is similarly stretched to breaking point. But it is interesting that the civil servants working for these organisations don't threaten to go on strike. They're very happily paid, and they're clearly well paid even when they're sick. So there we are. The answer to the answer to not feeling well is to work for your local council.